WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, ESPN 790 AM with Colin Coward and The Herd, weekday mornings from 9 a.m. till noon.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take a family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 on this April the 11th. And, wow, we've breezed through the it's hard to believe we breezed through the first hour of the show. And you know, with Ron Wong in the studio, as he is on the second and fourth Saturday, that we're talking fishing. I love to talk fishing. I love to hear Ron get excited. And
I am excited.
He really does. And when we do these shows, couldn't do it without Ron because his expertise and as I tell everybody, I'm the dumb question guy, and Ron's the expert.
No,
so,
not really at all.
But I can eat
good
with
morning, everybody.
Yeah, good morning, and Ron being here. And, of course, two special guests in studio. We just got through talking to Bobby Cochran, who is well-known around the Memphis area for his golf.
And then Johnny McFarland,
but he's taking up bass fishing.
The only reason why he came in was to pick up his prize package, which he really can't use right now, but so Bobby and I will try his stuff out. And I hope we don't lose too many lures.
It's Christmas in April. It's Christmas in April for me.
Johnny was the winner of our countdown to the Classic contest, and we're just now be able to give him his prizes, which made him look like a kid in a candy shop here because he had a little accident back in the ice and snow and is still on crutches, but we appreciate him being here. And, hey, we're really glad this next guest is with us because what a remarkable story happened recently down at Lewis Smith Lake. I'm not sure when you talk about comebacks, I could go back and think of a lot of comebacks. This has got to have been not only the comeback that he came back to win the tournament himself, but the comeback that he's on now to really make 2015 something special. And that's our good friend Dave Lefebre, out of the Ranger Boat Pro staff member. And Dave, first of all, congratulations on what happened to you at Lewis Smith.
Thanks. And, man, I hope what you just said comes to pass. It's just the beginning, hopefully, of a good year, but I'm real happy to be with you guys again.
Well, Dave, with the win there, and congratulations to you on that. With that win, it gives you a lot of points going forward to the Forestwood Cup, which is going to be held at Lake Ouachita this year out of Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Hot Springs. Yeah.
And now it's a matter of maintaining, right, in terms of how you do in the rest of the tournaments on the tour this year.
Yeah, it's just getting back to the old form, I guess, and trying to you get that taste of winning. It's been a couple of years, I think, 2012, and
right.
And you just after you win one, you just feel like you can go to the next one and do it all over again. But it ain't that easy in our sport.
Right. And I know you don't
to just stay consistent and get back to that cup because, as you know, I missed it last year.
You missed it last year
at the Fun Zone,
right? And you know, it was unfortunate. I got to talk to you at the Cup, but at the Expo there.
Yeah, he'd rather be on the water.
But I know I'd rather see you on the water and be able to film some stuff of catching some fish out there. Talk about Lewis Smith, Dave. One of the things that a lot of people, they know that there's the blueback herring, and everybody knows that the blueback herring is a very nomadic bait fish. And everybody knows.
See, I told you that's why he's a guru. He knows nomadic bait fish. We've never talked about that in 14 years.
And they always go essentially to the same pockets, to the same points, or whatever the case may be, and they typically only go a certain period of time every day, normally early in the morning, and especially during the spawn, they get crazy for about an hour and a half. And what you did was pretty amazing.
It's amazing, buddy.
There, Lewis Smith Lake, you didn't go and chase those fish when they were actually in shallow water in the pockets and on the points where the blueback herring was. Tell all of our listeners, how did you come about the pattern that you use to fish those areas of where the blueback herring were?
Well, you're going to make me sound a little dumb.
No,
but, I wasn't prepared for that. You know, I went into the tournament knowing there were bluebacks in there, listening to some other guys saying that there weren't. And it didn't. My pattern and my whole practice, nothing revolved around bluebacks. You know, it was close to the spawn, and my whole idea was, you know, finding some schooling spotted bass and finding some big largemouth shallow. And, I mean, my eyes were open. I wish I would have talked to you before practice. I would have known kind of what the deal was with those things. But no, I the first morning of the tournament, I was fishing and was kind of in a panic mode because the water had cleared up, and I was thinking I was going to be flipping, you know, doing my Andy Morgan impression. And, and man, I got there and it was kind of clear, and I could see the roots of the bushes, and I was just like in shock. So while I'm thinking about what to do, you know, to go back to the schooling spotted bass and just get a limit, or try to figure out where all these big largemouth went. I was just about an hour in, or maybe a half hour in, to fishing for largemouth, and I saw some bluebacks spawning, and I didn't even know what it was. I remember saying to my co-angler, it seemed like a bass hitting a frog. That's what it sounded like. And so I grabbed a D-shad, which is a little fluke-style bait, and I skipped it right up under that bush, and nothing happened. You know, I'm like, man, if that was a bass. And then it happened again, and I did the same exact thing and didn't get a bite, so we trolling motored over there, and sure enough, there's these big balls of bluebacks. So it took me, you know, to answer your question briefly, I mean, it took me pretty much all the rest of that day and pretty much half the day the next day to kind of start putting it together that, you know, I was getting bit on those not just those same pockets where those bluebacks were, but the exact same cast. And I'd go back to see if there was any bait or if those bluebacks were still there, and they were gone. But man, I'd keep making that same cast to where they were spawning in the morning. And, you know, I guess over the course of 4 days, I wish we had 5 or 6 days because I was really on top of it after the fourth day. But it was a neat deal. It was something I wasn't expecting, and those are the kind you do good in when you can keep an open mind like that.
Well, and that's kind of thinking out of the box, but, you know, people often go and say, you know, I know that the fish should be there, but I have to tell you, you know, when those bluebacks get so regular of when they go into a spot or went into a pocket or a little point or whatever the case may be, and they do it every day, those bass are pretty smart. They're smart enough to know where the lunch wagon is, and they don't venture far. How did that clue you into saying, all right, I'm going to go back in the afternoon, and I'm going to catch those bass that I know that are there?
Well, the first day, you know, I saw that in the morning. I had a decent limit going into the afternoon, and I had a short day that day. So I didn't really have time, a big enough window of opportunity to explore it to its fullest, you know. But I started hitting them late in the afternoon, and I just got bites. pockets with the bluebacks, there weren't very many of them. I'd been in a bunch of pockets, and there was only 3 or 4. Actually, at that time, there was only 2 on the first day. So I just noticed, just kind of one of those things that I still wasn't thinking of it. I just thought, man, there was so much bait in here in the morning. Obviously, I'm going to go back in there into those 2 pockets at the very end of the day. Then by day 3, I was having a dead zone in the morning, where I wasn't getting bit after I'd caught those. I'd catch a couple spots, and I'd go largemouth fishing. So I guess it kind of evolved into looking for more pockets with bluebacks and not really worrying about getting a bite. I was still fishing, obviously. But I was just looking for more places that afternoon on day 2 because I knew that I had the long day. I was going to weigh in at 5 that day.
Right.
So, I felt like those 2 pockets weren't enough, and ended up finding 4 more. So I had 6 pockets going into that afternoon, and then, Lord willing, the cut days. And I never really expanded on it. That kind of 6 of those pockets is more than enough to fish.
Yeah.
But what I thought was odd is, that you could not get a bite when they were doing that. I mean, during the course of those days, I saw thousands of those things where they would actually beat your lure, just like a shad spawn. If you threw a spinnerbaiter in there, they would beat it the whole way back to the boat. So
that's kind of crazy that they would do that. It's kind of like when we fish in the Tennessee River where we have a lot of skipjack. Same thing happens. You see them blowing up on the water, and you cast at them, and the only thing that bites you is a skipjack, and they really don't get a hook in you.
We're talking to Ranger Pro Dave Lefebre about what happened at Lewis Smith Lake earlier recently when he moved from 23rd to 7th, and then he's 8 pounds behind going into the final day.
A large difference.
And then he catches 5 bass weighing 19 pounds, 5 ounces, and to nail down his 6th tour win. And not only that, he got a little pocket change along the way. He got $100,000 plus $25,000 for that being in that Ranger boat, Dave. And I know that you said it feels good. Last year was a nightmare season for me, so this is sweet redemption. It's got to really invigorate you for 2015, doesn't it?
It does. I've had so much on my plate the last couple of years, and I just needed to get back. There was a lot of miracles that happened throughout that, getting ready for that last tournament and throughout the event, all the way up till the final weigh-in. And
it was meant for you to win. It was meant for you to win.
I believe that it was. I mean, I'm a firm believer in God.
Yes.
And I was starting to doubt, my own. There was just a lot going on, not just fishing, but I was actually for the first time starting to wonder, should I go back to playing music or doing, maybe I'm going to fish club tournaments and play in a band or do something different from now on. I was actually starting to have those feelings, like maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to do. And now I know I'm supposed to be a fisherman. So
you are. Yes, you are.
Pretty intense.
Well, we appreciate you. Yeah, we appreciate you taking time, Ron. I know that we respect you and the hang in there attitude. You got a lot of fans up here in the Memphis, Tennessee area, and Ron will vouch for that.
Absolutely. And Dave, I look forward to you having continued success in the tour.
And see you in Hot Springs.
And I will see you in Hot Springs.
Not at the expo, Dave.
No, I want to see you on the water.
On the water, Dave. We're going to be tracking to. We have your cell phone number, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it, man. Right. I'll be looking for you.
All right, buddy. We appreciate you. Have a great day and keep it rolling, okay? We'll talk to you again.
All right. Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. All right. What a... just in time. He's a musician. I mean, he plays in bands. He's written songs, and he's getting ready to go back to music.
There's there's quite a few anglers that are out there that are like that. Casey Ashley, the winner of the most recent Bassmaster Classic, he actually has a couple of songs recorded.
Yeah, these guys are great guys, and I'm glad to get Dave back. All right, let's take a break, come right back. Hey, we're going to talk bow fishing. Now, I know Ron loves to do that. He's a big...
been there, done that, and I just watch and take pictures.
I love to do that. Watch them do it there. We're going to talk about the biggest bow fishing tournaments coming up, the Muzzy Classic on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.